us this morning. We invite you to join the conversation on Getter and Rumble. Time now to take the political pulse of America and the beat today, a shockwave through Democratic circles as one of their own breaks ranks. Salesforce CEO.
All right, Emily, I'm going to take over here real quickly. Salesforce CEO Marc Benioff, a longtime Democratic megadonor and San Francisco power player, is praising President Trump's handling of crime and even calling for the National Guard to be sent into his city of San Francisco. In a new interview with the New York Times, Benioff said he, quote, fully supports the president and thinks that President Trump is doing a great job. Again, those are quotes. He even backed the idea of federal troops in San Francisco to help reduce crime. It's a stance that has many Democrats fuming, though. Local leaders like State Senator Scott Wiener and Supervisor Matt Dorsey blasted the comments, calling them, quote, a slap in the face and an invitation to an illegal occupation. But for many residents who are fed up with crime, homelessness, and open-air drug use, Benioff's break with the party line may actually be striking a bit of a chord. To discuss, let's bring back in Dr. Gina, David, and Emily. Emily, I want to give you a first shot on this. We were just having a couple of mic issues this morning, so I apologize to our viewers for that. But Emily, your thoughts on all of this?
Yeah, all I will say is I think President Trump is doing a great job to crack down on crime all throughout the country. It's something that has definitely needed to happen, and he's doing a fantastic job. Gina, I'll send it to you next.
Second that emotion. I think that he'll continue to do a great job. You know, I think if Democrats would join in and help him, we could really solve the crime problem in this country, David Brody.
I would agree with that. I'll just simply say that this guy, my understanding, doing some research on him, he does a lot of this. He goes, which way is the wind blowing here? And he knows the wind is blowing towards Trump. And, you know, so this idea that he's had some sort of conversion, no, he's had more of a practical conversion, if anything, not an ideological conversion. So I think we can all just kind of tamp down this idea that he's become, you know, he's going to put on a MAGA red hat anytime soon. That's not the case. He knows where his bread is buttered, and he's trying to figure this out and quite frankly, Gina, all of us are trying to figure out this. Not all of us, but, you know, I think there are a lot of Americans that are trying to figure out the new terrain ever since Trump glided down the escalator, because he has shaken up politics to the point where, you know, the traditional Republican and Democrat lines are no longer the case. He literally has fundamentally changed not just the Republican Party, but he's changed the Democrat Party. He's changed the actual political affiliations in this country. I mean, this is just, looking back on this historically, this is something more than impressive. It's something that's really not been done very often in our country.
But I think Trump I'm sorry. Go ahead, Emily.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Dr. Gina.
Oh, I got that was Emily. I think more than that, what Trump has done is exposed the way that the Democrats refuse to work on things. You know, there's this idea in the mind of conservatives, a lot of them, that if we have a good idea, that the Democrats will work with us on those ideas. And that we've learned is not the case. It doesn't matter if it's cleaning up our cities. It doesn't matter if it's peace. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter what the issue, health. Look, they're all trying to get rid of RFK. It doesn't matter what the issue is. The Democrats have been exposed to where they're almost going to have to come to the table on some of this.
You know, and we all knew that President Trump is unconventional, and I think he continues to show that in terms of how he deals with various issues, particularly in this particular case, crime and punishment and keeping our cities safe. He's doing things that no one else has dared do. And so it's unconventional, and it seems to be working. Before I go over to you, David, I just want to point out that Dr. Gina quoted right at the top, she quoted a Motown song. We know she's not a huge fan of Motown, but she said, I second that emotion. I was like, oh, no, yes, you did. You did. I was like, oh.
Touché, team.
In fact, I wanted to just bring that up, but I was like, let's stick with what's really the issue. But I noticed it, Dr. Gina. I heard you. You said, I second that emotion, which is a Motown song. All right, David, over to you.
Are you a closet Motown fan, Gina? I just
definitely not.
Okay,
but I'm a Terrence fan, so maybe that's where that came from. I don't know.
Yeah, well that makes one of us. No, two of us, three of us. Sorry,
David.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Give him his ISO. Oh, I'll take an ISO. Thank you very much. All right. We're following the latest on the president's push for border security. Federal agents are in many of our blue cities now rounding up illegal aliens and foreign criminals in the face of heavy Democrat pushback. Join us now to discuss more is CBP Chief Patrol Agent Greg Bovino. Greg, Chief, good morning to you. Well, Democrat leaders are pushing back hard against the president's crime crackdown, which is really what this border issue is all about. I mean, resistance from officials. You've got Governor Pritzker in Illinois making it harder for Border Patrol agents to do their job. How do you see it from the front lines, if you will? Good morning.
Well, good morning, folks, and thanks for having me. Being in Chicago here for over a month now, it truly is the front lines. When we say that every town's a border town, nothing represents that more than Chicago. Definitely a border town now. We've got tens of thousands of illegal aliens, criminal illegal aliens running the streets of Chicago. It's a rough city, and we're there cleaning that city up.
What has that experience been like specifically? You said you've been there about a month or so. Can you give us some insight into how that is going down and what it looks like?
Sure. We're at approximately 1,600 apprehensions as of probably later on today. Well, we hit that 1,600 mark. So a very active environment, a very, I guess I would say, a dangerous environment. The lethality with what our Border Patrol agents, ICE officers, and allied law enforcement are facing in Chicago is beyond what we saw in Los Angeles. As you know, we were in Los Angeles for about 4 months. And what's happening now is beyond belief, actually. Whether it's individuals ramming cars into Border Patrol agents' vehicles or bringing guns to protests, it's a very difficult situation for our agents to work in, but they're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, there's been talk about obviously the controversy, the way Democrats and the media like to spin it is that, got these ICE agents and Border Patrol, some with the masks on, if you will, and there's a nefarious group and they're not identifying themselves. You want to set the record straight about this like big bad ICE, the ICE agent that's out there, because this is clearly scare tactics by the media and the Democrats.
Sure. You mentioned J.B. Pritzker, that's the governor of Illinois, and then we've got Mayor Johnson. The rhetoric coming out of their mouths is astounding, folks. This mask thing, well, guess what? There's a bounty of $50,000 to kill Border Patrol and ICE officers. $50,000. Is there any wonder why our agents and officers are wearing masks? That comes from J.B. Pritzker, Mayor Johnson, as well as many of the other politicians nationwide. We saw that also from Gavin Newsom, Mayor Bass there in Los Angeles. They want to unmask officers. Why? So they can be hurt or killed? Makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm looking at, so tell me about, you're in which sector? Help me out again, and then you're now in Chicago, but kind of tell us a little bit about your, so to speak, backstory as to how you kind of came into where you are right now.
That's an interesting story. I'm from the El Centro Border Patrol sector, known as the premier sector in the U.S. Border Patrol. Now, those other 19 sector chiefs might disagree with that. We're definitely the premier sector. So the reason we're in places like Los Angeles, Chicago, and probably soon many other places nationwide to round up these illegal aliens is because the El Centro sector, under the Biden catastrophe, we did not allow individuals to come across that border with impunity and go to various parts of the United States. We controlled our section of the border. Because of that, when President Trump came into office, he said, wow, that's a great model there in the El Centro sector. Those men and women in El Centro sector did a fine job. So let's take some of that leadership, place them alongside ICE agents and those allied law enforcement officers in Los Angeles, see how that works. It worked, as you know, very well. We had the National Guard helping us there. And that's expanded to other cities, Chicago, and I think that model is a solid one. So El Centro sector, it kept its part of the border controlled during that migrant catastrophe or that migrant chaos. You can probably call it anything you want, and I'll agree with you. It was controlled there. So that command staff went north to those cities to control the cities now.
Yeah. So don't get me wrong. I mean, the resources are important, Congress allocating money and all of that. But what President Trump has done here with his leadership has really shown that a president actually, in this case, has a lot of sway as it relates to making sure there's a crackdown. How do you see that exactly? I mean, we've been told for decades, Congress has to step up and do their job, and they do. I mean, that still is true. But at the same time, a president, if they really put their mind to it and their will towards it, can really get something done here.
That's true. And it's taken the handcuffs off of law enforcement, not just ICE officers and Border Patrol agents, but when you take the handcuffs off of law enforcement, it makes a difference. We spent, again, the past 4 years and then many other administrations, the Barack Hussein Obama administration to be one, we were not really allowed to do our job. And now that we're allowed to do our job, it does surprise a lot of folks, but that job's being done and you can see the results. Look at the border. The border, very few crossings along the border. I had the chance to talk with Chief Michael Banks, chief of the Border Patrol, and we both agreed that border is controlled like it has never been controlled before. But the handcuffs are off. We're allowed to control the border. Look at the past 4 years. It was utter chaos on that border. Millions of people coming across the border.
Wow.
Now, some days it's in the tens coming across the border. It's amazing.
Just phenomenal. 20 seconds or so. Chief Bovino, how can people pray for you? I don't think that's a question you'll get on CNN, but how can people pray for you and the folks there that you're working with?
You will receive all those prayers. We appreciate that. We have a lot of folks coming up to us on the street saying just what you said, prayers for you. It means a lot. We haven't had ICE or Border Patrol agents hurt seriously or killed. Let's keep it that way.
Chief Bovino, great to have you. And you kept it 20 seconds. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate it from a TV perspective. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, the natural supplement your wellness routine is probably missing. I don't even have a wellness routine, but anyhow, and why it's helping thousands of Americans reclaim their health. We're going to talk about it when American Sunrise continues, folks.